Good morning, everybody. My name is Nick Don Stanton Rourke. I am the Digital Repository and Archives Manager for Palni, and I am currently serving a term as the Hyku Product Owner. Hyku is the turnkey multi-tenant application of the Hyrax institutional repository software. And I'm just going to give a quick update of the uh, Hyku platform and the changes that we've seen with 4 releases in the last year. So since last May, we have gone from 6.1 to 6.2, a major release with 7.0, and then a bump of 7.0 to 7.1. 6.1 brought in bulk racks configuration directly into the settings management so that repository managers can adjust their bulk rack settings without any developer intervention. Also switched to Good Job, added S3 storage. 6.2 was, in a lot of senses, a major update. It brought in flexible metadata as a preview feature off by default, but brought in the backend infrastructure that made flexible metadata work. The M3 profiles moved the metadata configuration over into the M3. And then 7.0 is the major release that changed the status of Flexible from sort of a preview feature into a full-fledged feature on by default, brought in the metadata profiles section of the dashboard. Um, and yeah, brought all of that into repository managers' hands. Also, 7.0, a major focus of the 7.0 development was accessibility work aiming toward WCAG 2.1 AA standards. There is a VPAT currently undergoing, about which we will hear more later. It also, 7.0 brought Haiku up to Rails 7.2 and brought it into alignment with the most recent fully released Hyrax version, so got parity there. And also brought in import templates, which is sort of a necessary downstream implication of being able to modify your metadata on a tenant by tenant or admin set by admin set basis. That then, if you're running imports, you need to be able to verify what your bulk rack settings are. 6.1 brought in the ability to change your bulk racks mappings on a tenant by tenant basis, and flexible metadata brings in the ability to configure your metadata on that basis or even a more granular basis. And so 7.0 brought in the ability to export an importer template that will tell you which metadata fields and properties are associated with which work types, which ones are required, which ones are optional, and that's all generated dynamically based on the settings in your tenant, and you can export it and have that locally. So there's no longer a need for repository administrators or consortial administrators to manually create and manage those templates. The system does it for you. 7.0 also began some work moving file sets up to sort of first-class citizen status. And so now file sets have their own full metadata template. That metadata is adjustable through the M3 profile with flexible metadata. And then 7.1 addressed a security patch for a Solar vulnerability. And so if you are running 7.0, you should update to 7.1 as fast as possible. In 7.0 plus, yeah, as I was just saying, you have bulk racks, import templates are generated for you, flexible metadata is in the system, and we have this accessibility work on the app. Other changes that we've seen since 6.1 into 7.1 and going forward, Valkyrization is complete. We replaced Sidekick with Good Job, much better performance, faster indexing and search. It's very, very apparent for both working in the dashboard and users on the front end, and other technical fixes that you can read about. The 3 big structural moves into 7.1 and going forward is you can now run without active Fedora. This is the 7.1 adapter is, well, it's adapter agnostic, and so you can run on Postgres or other systems. We are on Rails 7.2 and a Hyrax mainline, and bulk racks being a Hyrax dependency is very functionally useful in Hyku and for Hyku development. It just makes development in bulk racks and the ways that bulk racks interacts with other elements of the app more efficient to develop. And so a lot of the downstream enhancements to importing, exporting to bulk racks implementation are sort of downstream of that. So here's what's going on with the community and then what's coming up next in future releases. As others have alluded to, the Hyku Tech Lead and Hyrax Tech Lead positions have been collapsed into a single tech coordinator position, which improves efficiency of communication, fewer handoffs, clearer contribution path. There's also been a lot of work from the IMLS Sustaining Hyku grant around governance, organization, communication, how to coordinate work. And so that has informed a lot of the recent development and continues to inform development going forward. The recent improvements to bulk racks, which includes guided import, but also a lot of infrastructural improvements, are coming in Hyku 7.2. Import and export specific permissions are incoming very shortly. More work with aliases, redirects, and custom or vanity URL settings are coming very shortly in Hyku. As I said, there's a VPAT in progress right now that we will publish when it's complete. And there is currently a sort of one of the last outputs of the IMLS grant is some seed money toward feature development in Hyku. And so we are undergoing a process in the Hyku community to direct where that's going. So we're soliciting community input for that right now. So see the Hyku Slack channel for that. And with that, I will end. And if there are any questions, please put them in the chat or in the Slack channel. Thank you.